Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks with PR154, where we're on the streets of Bruenberg following the exploits of Son QB Bear of the Mehi clan in his Tier 8 American premium heavy tank, the Renegade. Tank was released a little over a year and a half ago, and there's quite a few Tier 8 American premium heavy tanks that are out there. One of the outstanding features of this vehicle, however, it's got decent damage per shot with its 105mm main armor, so 360 hit points. It's not too bad at all. It's not the most accurate gun in the world, but Sun Bear is able to make it work. It disperses a lot less on the move than some of the other Tier 8 American heavy guns, which is very helpful. It has quite decent DPM as well, probably about 10% over the next contender. So yeah, best DPM out of all the Tier 8 American premium heavies. And he's been able to use that to quite good effect, positioning here at F2 and shooting into the mid where his teammates are able to get proximity spots on the mediums and lights that usually frequent that area. Now, it might be argued that the base penetration of this weapon is not great. It's at 226mm. Looks certainly serviceable at Tier 8. Probably starts to fade a little bit once you get to higher tiers, bearing in mind that Sun Bear is bottom tiered here. But with the premium rounds, you can turn that up to 255. Again, not the highest order of premium penetration that you can get from a Tier 8 vehicle, but certainly serviceable in this situation where his position to not so much brawl with the heavies in the usual position that one might on this map, but rather to get crossfire into the middle of the map and start creating a bit of a hit point differential between the enemy and his teammates that are contesting the same space. Now, if you look at the sort of targets he's up against, we've got the Kunze, which is really not all that renowned for its armor. It was shooting at Bat Chatillon 12Ts, Progetto 46s. These aren't vehicles for whom armor is their predominant characteristic. Of course, while Sun Bear remains concealed in this position, it makes it exceedingly difficult for the enemy that's operating in this area to spot them and be able to return fire. That becomes quite critical. We can see there hasn't been too much effort made on either team to really contest this corridor, and I guess maybe the enthusiasm for that has sort of waned slightly since this map was reworked. That's taken the murder hole out of the E6 area, which did provide the South team with a bit of an advantage if they could gather that position. Whenever I'm deploying in the north and I have a vehicle with a reasonable amount of mobility, I like to try to get cross that gap quickly and then get into here so I can try to counter enemy vehicles that might be occupying this space as well. So collectively, there hasn't been a huge amount of effort made on either team really to sort of contest this gap, and that's given Sun Bear quite a significant advantage, where for minimal risk to his own hit point position, he can set up and just start filling this area with hot steel. Now we can see the enemy team. If I sort of activate those health rings for a second, that they've all taken quite a lot of damage. A lot of vehicles running around on sort of half hit points or less. We can see the enemy team has gotten a little bit braver in the heavy push, given there's not quite as many vehicles covering that sector, and the enemy Grill A15 is also making a rush on Sun Bear's position. Possibly a bit of a foolish push. Grill A15 has a big scary gun, but not really renowned for its armor or its rate of fire for that matter. So Sun Bear's using this position to sort of tuck in, avoid fire from the Grill A15, use its damage per minute to sort of get as many shots as possible while the Grill A15 is vulnerable and on the reload. We can also see the enemy Chrysler K is sort of poking around the corner, possibly angled just a little bit too widely for even the base penetration of the Renegade. So very, very smart use of position here by Sunbear. Now, he did actually load in with about 24 standard AP shells loaded and has completely burned through those. So now he's into the APCR. So look, props for going for the standard stuff first. I'd say a lot of that was also to do with just having the right shell for the job, and the job was shooting lightly armored, sort of light and medium tanks in the mid. So probably didn't need the premium for that anyway. But now we need the premium because shooting premium is better than shooting nothing at all, and that's what the alternative was. So shutting down the T28 prototype for his first kill of the game, he's able to round on the Chrysler K and send it back to the garage as well. So 2 kills in, nearly 4,000 hit points of damage acquired on the enemy team, and there's only 4 enemy guns left in the game. So they're at a 5-gun advantage. So they're very much into the cleanup phase at this stage. So we found a Progetto 54, which I'm not quite sure where that one's been all game, but there it is. It's made itself known. Ends up bouncing off the front of Sunbear a couple of times there. So it appears to be that Sunbear is controlling this engagement. Sunbear appears to be backed up by his teammate in the Indian Panzer, and between them they're able to knock out the Progetto 54. This just leaves the Lerva, last tank in the game, surrounded by 5 other enemy vehicles. And his platoon mate, Jed 777, also from the Mehi clan, is able to knock out the Lerva. And with 3 kills between them, that's going to give them a Brothers in Arms award. So let's take a look at the results. So a well-deserved Ace Mastery badge there for Sun QB Bear of the Mehi clan in the Tier 8 Premium American Heavy Tank M54 Renegade. So for his efforts, he's come away with a couple of these Epic or Battle Heroes medals. We've got Brothers in Arms for coming away with at least, for being in a platoon where every member has come away with at least 3 kills each. So very nice award to get. And of course the High Calibre medal for accounting for at least 20% of the enemy hit point pool. Now, the last time we saw the score for Sun QB Bear, he was sitting at just over 5,000 hit points inflicted. So it's for all those blind fires that were sort of sent into the middle of the map, it looks like he's been able to make another 2 connections with enemy vehicles there, which has bumped him up to a whopping 5,754 hit points. So very well done there. He's also picked up a few of these badges of merit between Bruiser for causing damage to enemy modules or crew members at least 5 times in the course of the battle, and the Duelist medal for destroying 2 enemy vehicles that had caused damage to them in turn, and 5 for Effect medal, which he did a little bit more damage than his hit points. Having a look at the team scores, well-deserved top placement by experience, a whopping 1,631 experience, and he's followed by decent way there by his platoon mate Jed 777, also of the Mehi clan. It's always nice to load in and see a 2-man or 3-man platoon from the Mehi clan. You know you're going to be in for a good fight when you see that on your team, and you know you're going to be in for a hard fight when you see it on the other team. Interestingly, again, this is an 8, 9, 10 matchup, and the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks by experience points were all tier 8s. So if you just keep playing to the role of your vehicle, you can make some magic happen, I promise. Having a look at the detailed report, this has been quite a profitable game here for Sunbear. Granted, they were sort of running battle payments, which helped assist that number along. But let's take that out of the equation for a second. That's 100,000 credits that he's been able to make off this game. Now, this has been influenced to an extent by the fact that he did have to dive into the premium ammo there, but let's remember just earlier in the game he just depleted all of his standard AP before diving for the premium, and let's face it, he didn't really need to use those premium shells because he was shooting at soft targets anyway. So very sensible ammunition choices made here by Sunbear of the Mehi clan. Although not everyone kind of shares that view. We've got one of these serial commenters on the What Replays site has sort of come in. Poor, unfair, antisocial human waste. Using gold ammunition's just unfair and antisocial. What is armor good for if unfair players like you use gold ammunition? Think about yourself. You ruin other people's game with your unfair and antisocial behavior. This is a game play fair. Obviously didn't watch the replay. Obviously didn't. But anyway, I'll leave that with them. And if you've got a replay that you'd like to see shared with the community, please reach out over Discord or any of the links below, and we'll do our best to sort you out there. In the meantime, take care.